Hello there, it's Aussie Star Wars Nerd, and today we're going to be taking a brief look into every Force power in Star Wars canon, starting with one of the most basic, the Force Push. Used by both Sith and Jedi, the Force Push is one of the most basic Force abilities, simply allowing the user to move objects away from them at various levels of strength. This brings us to the Force Pull, the exact opposite of Force Push. The last one of the more basic abilities is Force Slow, allowing a Force sensitive to slow down a person, animal, or object, even bringing them to a complete stop. Now that the most basic and well-known Force abilities are out of the way, we'll start moving on to some much cooler abilities. Starting off the much cooler abilities is Instinctive Astrogation. This ability allows Force users to navigate hyperspace without the use of a droid or navigation system. Next is Force Lightning, the ability used by Sith to send unlimited power straight at their enemies. Now we have Electric Judgment, only seen in canon once being used by Jedi Master Plo Koon, but seen in Legends being used by Luke Skywalker. Electric Judgment is basically light side Force Lightning, the only two differences being that it is less powerful and doesn't require any Sith qualities like anger. Now we have the ability for a Jedi to block or absorb Force Lightning with just their hands, seen being done by Yoda in the prequels. Moving on to the next ability, Force Concealment, used by Palpatine to hide he was a Sith Lord from the Jedi. Oh, and of course used by Darth Jar Jar. Moving on now to Force Awareness, the ability that allows a Force sensitive to sense when something has happened or is about to happen, like when Obi-Wan sensed Alderaan blew up in A New Hope, and Yoda right as Palpatine executed Order 66. Next up we have Wayfinding, the ability to find life when lost in space. This power was used by Imri, a Jedi Padawan in the High Republic. Now we have Shatterpoint, Mace Windu's unique ability to sense weakness within an opponent. Now we have one of the more well-known abilities, the Jedi Mind Trick. Almost all species, the only exceptions being Hutts, Toydarians, or extremely strong-minded characters, would be mind tricked. Now another similar variant of this ability is Mind Probe. That we saw in Kenobi used by Reva, the third sister. It was also used by Kylo Ren. The ability is almost exactly the same as Mind Trick, just allowing the user to mainly find out information rather than trick someone into doing something. The next ability has only been seen in the High Republic books. It is Force Empathy. This ability allowed some individual Force sensitive to claim others and sense how others around them were feeling. Another Force ability is Levitation, used most notably by Rey in The Rise of Skywalker while she is meditating. The next ability is Force Athleticism. This ability could be used in many ways. It is most often used with lightsaber form 4, called Ataru, most notably by Master Yoda. However, Force Athleticism can also be used to do very physically demanding activities such as jumping high, running super faster along a wall, or doing a flip. Now the next ability we're moving on to is a much rarer ability used most notably by Anakin Skywalker, Force Vision. Force Vision, or Force Premonition, allowed specific individuals to have visions of future events. Another rare ability that can be learned and users either have or don't have when they're born is Psychometry, the ability to experience an object's past just by touching it. This ability is seen in canon twice, being used only by Quinlan Vos and Jedi Padawan Cal Kestis. Now the next one is quite controversial, but it is canon. Of course, I am talking about the Force Projection used by Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi, the worst Star Wars movie. Now we have another controversial ability, Force Healing. Seen only in the Disney films and series, Force Healing allows a Force user to transfer some of their life essence to another person, healing whatever the injury was that they had. The next ability is one of my favorites, the ability to bond and communicate with animals and plants. Used best by Ezra Bridger in Star Wars Rebels, but also being seen used by Obi-Wan in Revenge of the Sith. The next ability is Teleportation, used by Bendu in Rebels. You could argue that he is just good at blending in with his surroundings, but I think Thrawn's attempt to kill him says otherwise, unless of course he is using the next ability, and that is the ability to become the living Force and become a Force ghost. Seen used only by a few Jedi, first Qui-Gon Jinn, then Obi-Wan, Yoda, Anakin, Luke, and Leia. Now we have Force Dyad, seen only in the sequels between Rey and Kylo, allowing them to see each other at random times. Now the next one is Sith Magic, used by Dathomiri and Night Sisters, allowing them to perform different spells. Oh boy, here comes another controversial one from the sequels. Essence transfer, used by Palpatine to transfer his essence into another body, allowing him to live forever. Anyway, that brings us to the end of this video. Let me know if I missed any abilities and I might make a part 2. Thank you for watching and may the Force be with you.